Good evening and good morning, everyone. Myself, Naveen Kumar. I'll be the instructor for today's session. I have 12 years of IT industry experience. I'm currently working in Accenture as an application development team lead. I've been training for Edureka from past 2 years post the COVID. Okay, this is about myself. Today, I'll be explaining what is cloud computing, what is Salesforce, difference between cloud computing and Salesforce. And we'll also understand the Salesforce administration, user management task, managing tasks, user license, assigning profiles, permission sets, and all. Okay. Now we are going to discuss about cloud computing. Okay, first I'll explain what is CRM, then I'll come back to your cloud computing. In a business climate, when where acquiring new customers and retaining existing clients is becoming increasingly critical, an agile CRM is the answer to bridge the gap between business process and managing customers' expectation. CRM can be broadly defined as a set of processes to manage the company's interaction with clients and sales prospects. It often involves technology to organize, automate and synchronize sales, marketing, customer service, and technical support. The goal of every organization is to create a strong bond between the organization and its client. In short, I can say customer should always be the prime focus of any organization. So the three important aspects of customer relationship management will be: number one, it is retaining of the customer. Okay, it is retaining of the customer. What is meant by retaining? Most organizations spends a lot of time and money in their attempt to acquire new customer. At a time when customer acquisition is rising, the organization should be more proactive and innovative in retaining their clients. The longer customer engage with you, the more they spend on you. Competition can replicate your offerings, but never the experience you provide. That's where customers will leave the company, because 68% of the people are not happy, are unhappy with the service they receive, and 14% are unhappy with the product or service. 9% decide to use a competitor. Totally 91% will decide on the same. Remaining 9% will retain in the existing organization. Second one is acquire. Customer acquisition is very important for the growth of any company. A large number of customers are always on the borderline. They are called the fence sitters and could easily swing over to your competitor's side. You ideally don't want to be losing these people, because it's very hard to win them back from competitions. Fence sitters generally don't have too much of an idea about your competitors, as well as they are relatively soft targets. Third one is extend. When we think about CRM, we always look at how a CRM can help enhances a company's values to its client. For example, when a cosmetic brand decide to launch a new product, they don't directly flood the market with their products. Rather, they reach out to their few loyal customers first, because they know that they would surely buy the product, and their feedback is very critical. CRM helps us in identifying such customers. Now, the next question: why CRM? Companies always had data around who is buying and who is selling. Couple of decades back, we always had the customer data written in a diary or stored in a spreadsheet. But the main drawback was that the data was not used to get further insights about customer. Also, the focus was not on customer relationship management. Rather, they had bigger concerns in their supply chains and logistics, which were more critical to business. Different customers may have different problems. One solution can't solve all of them. And this is precisely where CRM helps us. CRM helps solve individual customers' problem at a micro level. From an organization point of view, CRM provides to high revenues by reducing the maintenance cost and time. Okay, so when you have CRM, flawless exchange of information about all customer channels, consistent user experience across all touchpoints, real-time access to all customer information to enable quick decision making. Additionally, CRM Salesforce also provide personalized products or services based on specific needs and customization. Personalized products or service is a very important matrix around which customer satisfaction is measured. A dissatisfied customer has higher chances of being disloyal. That is what is all about CRM. Now, when you come across cloud computing, what is cloud computing? We have two types of CRM. One is on-premises or traditional CRM. Second one is cloud computing, on cloud CRM. So when you come across this on-premise or traditional system CRM, on-premise would mean that a company would have to install servers, network systems, and will have to have all this to get the CRM system working. This is how typically Siebel system would work. Okay, this is how typically a Siebel system would work. The main drawback on premises CRM is that a lot of money and time have to be invested upfront. Okay, that's where they came across cloud computing. When you come across this cloud computing, that is called as an on-demand cloud-based system. That is SFDC. SFDC means Salesforce.com. In a cloud-based system or SFDC, you don't own anything. All you need is a laptop, internet, and Salesforce.com license. As a company, all you need to do is to buy the license because servers, networks, database, and infrastructures all are maintained by the company called Salesforce. We have many cloud-based applications today like Google Maps, Cisco, Citrix, etc. Now, when you come across this cloud computing, what is cloud computing? Cloud computing might sound something really complex for many people, but it is nothing but internet-based computing where you would be using a network of remote servers hosted on the internet to store, manage, and process data rather than local servers or a personal computer. The three important aspects of cloud computing. When you come across Salesforce, you got to know what is Salesforce. Salesforce, when you come across cloud computing, we understood instead of having physical servers, everything will maintain on the server. So when you come across this cloud computing, Salesforce is a company which will provide software as a service to the companies, SaaS, which was introduced. Later, it has been introduced as a PaaS, platform as a service. That means not only providing CRM as software as service, but also it will provide platform as a service. That is where you can perform customization for your business need in the form of an admin as well as in the coding. Whatever things which you are not able to achieve in the admin, that is where you will be achieving with the program. So when you come across this, that is what I said. So, Salesforce is a cloud computing software who provides service as SaaS. That is CRM, which is providing as a software as a service, which initially introduced. Now Salesforce not only see a software as a service, but it also provide you platform as a service. That means it will provide you an environment on the cloud where you can customize on the admin as well as on the development. That is what Salesforce is all about. Okay, so when you come across this, let me explain this. Three basic benefits of cloud computing. Multi-tenant. Multi-tenant is an architecture in which single instance of software application serves multiple customers. Each customer is treated as a tenant. Tenants may be given the privilege to customize some parts of the application. Multi-tenancy can be economical because software development and maintenance costs are shared. Pay per use. You don't pay for all the services available, but you just pay for the service you require. This would help in reducing the overall cost and would be having an estimate of how much would you be spending at the end of the fiscal year. The third feature about your multi or your cloud computing is scalable. Scalability is one of the rich features that cloud computing provides. Cloud computing offers organizations the ability to scale their computing resource as and when required. This is all about your Salesforce. When you come across Salesforce, it has a few things called as an administration and development. Okay, when you come across this administration, Salesforce administration manages and administers like production orgs and how to add the users, how to manage all the users, all these particular things will come under administration. Salesforce developers builds the apps functionality using a programming language called as an Apex and Visual Force page. In order to develop your UI pages, you can develop Visual Force pages. All the clickable things like configuration, those all information can be achieved via administration. The features which you are not able to achieve with the admin, the things which are not able to achieve via admin, those things can be achieved via programmatically. Okay, so when you come across this admin, you'll try to see how to create the apps, how to create the tabs and all. Okay, now in order to understand the admin part, before we come into this part, let me see some hands-on. Okay, let me sign on this page. Let me give my name. I try to choose the course as building application on force.com. I try to provide I am not a robot. Start my free trial. When I click on this page, this is how to sign in the page. Once after signing, it will take a moment of time. Okay, before this page will appear, you'll understand what is Salesforce. I'll show you how to create a custom Salesforce app. I'll be creating an app called as a student force, which can be used to maintain student records. This app will contains 3 different objects, or objects are nothing but tables to store data. The first object called students data will contains the name of students and their personal details like email ID, phone number, and their native city. The college the students belongs to will be stored in the second object called college. And the third object called marks will contain the marks obtained by the students in various subjects. So that is where I'm going to create right now. So I'm waiting for the link to get up here. So now the question arises. Now people understand what is CRM, what is cloud computing. Before that org link appears is that, okay, before Salesforce, that is your cloud computing, before Salesforce, your cloud computing, CRM solutions were hosted on company's own server. Can you imagine the cost and time it took for companies to have their own CRM solution? Well, it used to take months or even years to set it up, and the cost went up to millions of dollars. Even after setting up, they were extremely hard to use. What would be feasible solution to this? I'm sure you'll guess building an affordable CRM software and delivering entirely online as a service. This was the main idea behind Salesforce. Started as a software as a service, SaaS, software as a service. Salesforce has grown into the 5th largest software company in the world. Okay, why? What made Salesforce an instant hit? The answer is very simple. It was cloud computing. Cloud computing. Salesforce wasn't just about a better product at a fraction of the cost. It was about replacing the lengthy installation process and moving everything to the internet. They changed the business model. No more long-term contracts and expensive licensing details. Anyone could use Salesforce with only a simple $50 monthly subscription fee. So now you got what is Salesforce. What is Salesforce and all. So benefits of Salesforce till my org get available. Yeah. So let me brief this benefit of Salesforce, then I can come back to here. With the help of Salesforce, you can able to develop the fastest path from idea to app. You can concentrate on building your app using Salesforce tools rather than building the infrastructures and tools yourself. This can save you years of time and millions of dollars. Okay, Salesforce customers generally say that is unique for three major reasons. Number one, it's very fast. Traditional CRM softwares can take more than a year to deploy, compare that to months and even weeks within weeks with Salesforce. Easy. Salesforce wins in the easy to use category hands down. You can spend more time putting it to use and less time figuring it out. Effective. Because it is easy to use and can be customized to meet business needs, customers find Salesforce very effective. And Salesforce is in the cloud, so your team can use it from anywhere with access to the internet. If you are a business that is rapidly changing, or you are a seasonal company that's been around of years, your business is probably changing too. Salesforce is completely scalable to your growth. Salesforce seamlessly integrates with third-party apps. If you want to integrate Salesforce with Gmail, you can do it. If you want to integrate with your accounting software, you can do that too. On the other hand, integration is tough with other CRM. Salesforce is affordable, especially if you consider its vast variety of capabilities. Even startups and small business can use Salesforce. That is all about here. So it took a moment of time. Once after signing, you can click on single left click or as in verify account. So it will prompt you to change the username and password. Let me change the password. Okay. This is what an application looks like. Okay. This is your all your apps, whatever you are able to see. So the cloud computing space offered to you or to your organization. You can see to you or to your organization by force.com is called Salesforce org. It is also called the Salesforce environment. Developers can create custom Salesforce apps, objects, workflow, data sharing rules, visual force pages, and Apex coding on tops of Salesforce org. Now we are going to see this are called as an apps. Apps are nothing but the collection view of the tabs. Now we are going to create a Salesforce app. What is this Salesforce app? The primary function of Salesforce app is to manage customer data. Salesforce apps provide a simple UI to access customer records stored in objects. As I said, what is object? It is nothing but tables in your relational database, and also helps in establishing relationship between objects by linking fields. Okay. Apps contains a set of related tabs and objects which are visible to the end user. Now I'll show you how to create a student force app. So how to create this? Let me click on this setup. Okay. Now when you type your apps, So you can see under build, create apps, you can find here. So when you click on new, you try to provide the app name called as an student force. Let me give the name student. Okay. So next, I try to choose an image. What is this image? Like logo. Like what is this logo we are getting, right? In order to get this logo, we are trying to choose. I'm trying to provide the apps. So if you want to create any student object, as of now, there's no tabs available. Okay, if you want to add any custom object, let me add interviews and all, like how we are able to see these tabs, right? Similarly, if I want to create any tabs, I can click on the same. Okay, so these apps can be moved, tabs can be moved. What is tabs? Tabs are the visual representation of the app. In order to create the record, in order to edit the record, in order to update, delete the record, or in order to view the records, you need to have the create the tabs. Tabs are visual representation of the object. Let me click on next. And for which particular profiles it has to be visible. As of now, I can give it as custom executive, system administrator, custom HR, and let me click on save. Okay, you are able to see the app name called as a student force. When you click here, and if you switch, this is the tabs, and you are able to see the tabs of this one. Okay, now let me create my own tab called as an Salesforce tabs. What is this Salesforce tabs? Whatever you are able to see of our candidate's job application. Tabs are used to access object in the Salesforce app. They appear on top of the screen and are similar to a toolbar. It contains short link to multiple objects. On clicking the object name in a tab, records in that object will be displayed. Tabs also contains links to external web content. Okay, custom page and other URLs. Like you can see, customize my tab is there. You can create a custom page and all. Okay, if you want to create a tabs and all, you'll see how to create the tabs. Now, when you come across in your Salesforce, whatever the applications you choose, whether it is a Salesforce or sales, let me switch. By default, home tab will be default. All application will have a home tab by default. Standard tabs can be chosen by clicking on plus icon. So now if you go to your student force, if you want to have standard tabs, that is which is provided by the Salesforce engine, you can click on plus and you can see accounts, contacts, groups. It will be in the alphabetic order. Contacts, groups, leads, profiles are the standard tabs offered by Salesforce. For example, account tags will show you the list of accounts in the SFDC. Now, if I click on this all, you will be able to see all contacts. Whatever the context is there, you are able to see. And similarly, if I come back to your contacts, and if I click on this all go, you are able to see certain contacts in the SFDC org. So now when you have created this student force, if you want to customize my tab, I have shown you what are the tabs I have added. Suppose if you want to create your own custom tabs, you can create the same. Suppose if I want to create an object, let us say if I want to create the object called as an student object. Let me create one object, then I'll make the tabs visible. When I click on the setup, and if I type objects, object means nothing but tables. Under create objects, setup build. Now if I click on new object, I try to provide the name as student data. Always remember it should be plural. The tab should be always plural form. You can see offers, candidates, job application, reviews and all. Similarly, the tabs should be in the plural form. And whenever you are creating the object, I try to give the fields. Okay, I'll allow this, and parallelly I'll be creating the tabs. Let me click on save. Now that I can create the tab. Let me provide the theme. Let us give it as a green color. Like let us say whatever the themes you look like. Let me click on the next, and for which all the profiles it should be visible. You can make it as default off. Only for that specific profile let it be visible. Let me make it as custom executive, custom HR and system administrator. Let me click on next, and this student object which I have created, it should be visible only for the student force app. If I click here, the tab should be visible. Let me click on save and verify the student data is available. This is nothing but the tab. Okay, have created the tabs. So now we understood object, and also we have created the tab. Why I'm going to create the tab? Because in order to create the record, edit the record or update the record, I need to perform there. Now I can click on view fields. Fields are nothing but the columns in the tables, in the relational tables. In order to create the fields, you will be creating over here. So generally what you are going to create. Now if you have any Excel file, I do not have any Excel file. If you want to create student name, email ID, phone number, okay, country, city, department. If I want to create whatever these columns are there, it is nothing but fields, student name and all, email ID, phone numbers and all. Okay, so now if I want to create those fields, I can create the field, let us say like city and all. Let me choose the field called as in city. I'll choose it as a text, and I try to provide 20 characters, and let me give it as city. Okay, let it be next, and let it be visible for the three profiles like custom executive, HR and system administrator. Click on next, and I try to give it as save and new. And similarly I can create the same for text, and I can provide for department. Okay, let the department be also text. Click on next. The columns I'm creating, custom executive, HR, system administrator. Click on next, and click on next. We'll try to have email. We'll choose this email data. I try to give email, and we'll make it as a visible custom executive, HR, system administrator. Click on next, and click on save and new. And we'll try to create one phone number for contact details. let me have this phone, and let me click on next. And let it be visible for 3 profiles: custom executive, HR, and system administrator. Click on next and click on save. So you can see what are the fields which I have created so far. When I click on new, you can see city, department, email, phone number. You're able to see. Okay, this is about object. Now if I want to fill any records, let me fill the record. Let us say I try to give Naveen Kumar. Okay, email ID I have given, city I try to give it as Bangalore, and department I can give it as software or engineering department. Okay, this is the record. If I click on save, you can see the record has been created. Can you see that? This is nothing but the record which will be there on the database. Hope so you understood how to create the tabs, how to create the fields, objects, and all. So hope so you got some fair idea about what is object, tabs, and all. So before we proceed further, we need to discuss about the profiles. We discussed about this setup, and when I come to move to this profiles, okay, this is a profile. What this profile is there? You remember whenever I created the tabs or apps or objects, fields, I used to choose custom executive, custom HR, system administrator. People might wonder what is this, why Naveen is giving this. Okay, what is this? It is nothing but the Salesforce profile. What is the need of Salesforce profile? Every user who needs to access the data or SFDC org, salesforce.com org will be linked to a profile. A profile is a collection of settings and permissions. Whenever I click on any profiles, let us click on system administrator. And when you click on profiles, what I said, a profile is a collection of settings and permissions which controls what a user can view, access, and modify in Salesforce. Profiles controls user permissions, object permissions, fields permissions, app settings, tab settings, Apex class access, Visual Force pages access, page layout, record types, what is the login hours, login IP addresses. So all this information which will be present. You can define profiles based on the background of the user. For example, different levels of access can be set for different users like administrator, system administrator, developers, and sales representatives. Similar to tabs, we can use any standard profile or create a custom profile. Okay, by default, the available standard profile we have, whenever I click on this previous button, okay, by default, the available standard profiles are, you can see, read only, contract marketing user, contract manager, solution manager, and system administrator. If you want to create a custom profiles, okay, if I want to create any custom profiles like a new profile, I need to clone the existing profile. Let us say custom HR. And if I want to create a profile called as an custom recruiter, okay, first I need to clone this profile. If you want to create custom profiles, you need to create first clone standard profile and then edit that profile. One profile can be assigned to many users, but only one user cannot be assigned to many profiles. Okay, one profiles can be assigned to many users. One users cannot be assigned to multiple profiles. That is very important. So when you click on this any profile, This is how you're creating the profile. Like let us say custom recruiter, and this is the profiles. So hope so cleared with the concepts, whatever I've discussed so far. Okay, thank you all. Hope so you got a fair idea about Salesforce training. Thank you.